everyone. Thank you for taking the time to be here on this very important topic because we have definitely needed to get on the other side of this. My name is Renee Norse, and I'm the founder and CEO of Urban Wealth Management. Welcome to the Smart Women Savvy Money Club. And we want to make sure, obviously, men can be here too. But we want to make sure that women remain smart, but get savvy about the financial side of their life. So I'm very blessed and happy that everyone is here today because at the end of the day, what we've been doing is we've been hosting these webinars for about 8 years. And I'm so happy and blessed to have been in business now. It'll be 10 years in June. And I'll let everybody know we are going to have a big party. So we'll let you guys know where we're going to be, what we're going to do, and where it's going to be. We're going to be dancing, drinking, having great food. So as we move along in there, I will let y'all know what we are going to be doing. Lots of stuff. And amazing people that have been with us, our team, our hosts for our webinars, lots of our speakers, and we've been hosting a number of events over the past 9 years. So with that said, for any of you who are new to coming on to our webinars, I want to introduce our site. If you haven't been into our Urban Wealth Management site, we have a bunch of stuff that we host. Even though we are financial advisors, we're financial planners, our primary focus is getting people into the strength of their financial life. And we work with everybody. So with that said, we host a lot of blogs. And if you're not a member of our network yet, you will also be able to see a lot of the information that we're providing. So for example, I just finished writing an article in our newsletter about the upcoming tax law changes. I know everybody is scared to death about what that's going to be like. But when you read it, you'll find out, oh, it's not going to impact me. It's not going to be as bad as what I thought it was going to be. So when you come into our site, you can just go in here, click on our blogs, for example. And this was the article that I just wrote, which is giving you an oversight of what the tax law changes are going to be, the updates and retirement contributions. Now, the maximum age for taking money out of your retirement is at age 72. And here's the updated tax rates for everyone to know. So we've got a ton of things that you will learn about to help get your financial life in gear. So with that said, this topic is very timely because, as you all know, everybody has been impacted by this mess that we've been experiencing. I've even had some personal situations that have occurred. I was just telling Zenobia, our speaker, who I'll introduce here in a minute, about how here in my team, emails went out to some of my team members and said, hey, we're offering new employee benefits. And so one of the team members emailed it to me and said, did you send this? I said, did you look at where the email address came from? It didn't come from renee.norse@urbanwm.com. It's important to see where these emails are coming from. Getting emails from Home Depot, from Verizon to say, American Express, hey, you got special deals. Right. You got to look at what's at the top of that. Now, y'all might have heard too how Robinhood got slammed a couple of weeks ago. They got access to everybody's name, their address, their phone numbers, and they could see what's in their accounts, but they couldn't see their social security numbers, which is important. But if they can see what your net worth is, they're going to be sending you a lot of emails to say, hey, I want you to be, my client. So these are some steps that Zenobia, who has been our master leader, she started giving our webinars 6 years ago. And she was so informative that I picked up everything she said to do. One of which was to get a VPN. Another one was to get a password, app so that you didn't have to remember or never write it down and leave it any place. Everything that she told me, I take notes all the time and I've implemented it. So y'all are going to take good notes and you're going to implement all the things that she said. So with that said, let me tell you about Zenobia. I've known Zenobia, how long now, girl? About 15 years?
Oh, I know it's over 10 actually already. Hard to believe.
Yes, yes. And that's because I met her originally because we played cards, bid whist. We've been playing
stress relief. That was stress relief.
Yes, it was. We haven't been able to play together in a while. There's a group of us that have been playing. But she is amazing because she is a serial entrepreneur that is involved with providing and is an expert in technology for small businesses to help them get on the best side of technology for their businesses. Now, in addition to that, she also has an amazing thing. And I said, we're going to talk after this, where she provides companies funding options. If anybody wants to build out their business, their practice, whatever, that she actually acts as that person that can make that connections for you to build out and get loans from angels. That's what she calls it. So with that said, I'll turn it over to you, Zenobia. Get us going.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And I always enjoy doing this because I get to speak what I know and share. Because in the middle of the night, I'm reading stuff and I find out all kinds of stuff. I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay, so I got to write that down. Remember that so that I can be a good, valuable resource for you all, because a lot of what I'll talk about either isn't really headlined enough for you to really pay attention to, or it goes by you so fast that you're like, okay, so what is that? Should I pay attention to that? So I'm going to be pulling out a few jewels for you to really, really look at and include and pay attention to. So let's see, I'm going to share my screen. And here we go. Okay, so I am voicing this as Get CyberSecure. And these are my observations of some of the negative cyber events and that have been occurring to us, a lot of which woke us up. We all became woke in the last year and a half. And then I have 10 tips, actually it's a few more, but 10 tips to help you to fend off the attackers. So, okay, pandemic digital life. A lot of us, well, not me, but a lot of folks kind of shied away from dealing with digital technology and how it could improve your lifestyle. But when March 2020 came along, it pushed us all over the cliff and shut us down to where we finally had to not ignore a lot of the signs that actually have been coming along for a long, long time. The biggest one was in person was no longer an option, at least not a safe one. Okay, and we are social people. We like to go out, we like to be out, and we take it for granted. So this impacted our ability to go in person to work. I got a lot of stuff, so I'm going to try and get through pretty quickly. And you probably already know and have been impacted by all of these or some of these. Education, going to school, from the babies to the PhDs to the medical schools. Our religious activities, our ability to meet for activities or even go to service. Our shopping, some of us, we got to go and feel the fabrics of what we're shopping for or try on the shoes. That all got shut down. Okay, personal care, we had to figure out how to do our own hair. We either didn't cut it or didn't do anything to it. And yeah, my brother said that he wasn't going to cut his hair until after the pandemic. Well, he took on the Cornell West look. And then also we couldn't get our nails done, all kinds of stuff. And then our finance management, we couldn't go into the branches. Okay, and a lot of people are used to being able to walk into that branch and talk to your local banker. And then also the folks who were still writing checks, they couldn't go to take their checks. A lot of people were trying to drop off their checks at my church, and so they had to leave it in the drop box and the mailbox outside. They couldn't get in, or had to try and go and mail checks because they were used to using checks. They were like the no digital payments for me type people. Healthcare, that got shut down too. All the elective surgeries. I just did get my hip replacement surgery in like 2 weeks before this March lockdown. Okay, so, and of course, you know that a lot of times you couldn't go visit people that were ill in the hospitals. And then also, of course, we couldn't go see our family and our friends. So that was like really, really difficult to get used to, but that's what we had to do. Hang on 1 second. I want to try and move my tools. Okay. And then of course, attending any kind of entertainment was out. We couldn't do any of that. We couldn't go to our business meetings or conventions. That was all shut down. Poor Las Vegas, 120,000 people that go to Consumer Electronics Show. No, couldn't happen. Okay, so let's see. Then, of course, we did have to do the big pivot. And so that big pivot was going completely to online, or at least a lot of the services and the things that we do that could go to online, jump to that. So a lot of people were pushed to learn how to do online banking. That was probably one of the major ones for me. That was, well, I'd been online banking for many years, so it wasn't a problem for me, but it was kind of scary for a lot of people to learn how to log into their online banking on their computer and also on their phones. And then, of course, digital payments. There were a lot of people, oh, I don't use PayPal. I'll never use PayPal. Well, they have to learn how to use PayPal to be able to make purchases. And of course, the biggest thing was streaming, the streaming technology, so that we could again see our meetings and go to church. The church services went online. I happened to, at my church, actually the year before, project managed having our whole data line system and network updated so that when the pandemic hit, we were able to function right away and stream our services. But there were a lot of churches that weren't able to do that. And then, of course, again, meetings, the conventions, they learned to, and new businesses happen with convention software that mimicked being in an in-person convention, so that a lot of the organizations could again start having some sort of convention or trade show. And then, of course, our awards, events, all of the Oscars, all of the Emmys, all of those, they actually went to online and tried to mimic having those in-person award show with different kinds of red carpets and a different way to do that. And then, of course, our theater, the operas, they figured out how to play back different recordings, because all of them had recordings. They could play back some of their previous events, and the same thing with concerts. Okay, so some of our vulnerabilities were and still are our infrastructures, and that is those systems that control our life essentials. We're talking about our water, our power grids, transportation, our communication, our IT, that is an ISP. That's how we have our internet, how we connect through networks for our businesses and also for our homes. Our governance, and that is how our government, municipalities, how they, because they're all now internet connected, and also our economies. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Our economies, all our finances, like our banking systems, all of those, our commerce, how we buy things, and you know a lot of those, what those are. And then I work from home. All of a sudden, people were so used to going to a job that they could now not go to, and had to pivot suddenly to do that same work that they were used to doing, going in to an office that provided everything, and now try to do it at home without a lot of the tools that they had at the office. So in trying to use their home systems, their home computers, their phones, their tablets, which most of you do not secure at all just for yourselves, really put a lot of businesses in jeopardy, because they were vulnerable to a lot of the things that Renee just mentioned starting out here. So that vulnerability was just completely accentuated with COVID-19. And then, of course, again, our personal lifestyles, our healthcare, not being able to, well, a lot of the hospitals, some of the hospitals were hacked. And then also our education systems, all of our social networking, all of that was vulnerable, has been vulnerable. And our IoT, that is Internet of Things, you might have heard that term, Internet of Things, and that's our connected homes and our vehicles. So even cars have been hacked. On one of my TV shows, online TV shows, years ago, actually, probably 9 or 10 years ago, I actually did a show on how, and showed videos of how a Tesla was hacked, how someone hacked into the computer on the Tesla and was actually able to reroute that car, and also affect the braking system of that car. And there were videos that showed how that can actually happen. And so that's still a vulnerability that they actually are getting a whole lot better of at working on that. And then just to bring this up, Renee and I talked a little bit about some of our the high profile ones that happened to make the news. Just a few words on that. Some of these hacks that you heard about are merely for profit. And that profit takes the form of accessing and gaining access to other people's data that's not yours, and personal information that allows them to either create new accounts with your data that you don't have access to, but puts you into the liability of having to pay for that once you find out how serious it is. And it takes a lot of time and energy to actually clear that up for yourself, as well as money, because some people have had to pay attorneys, CPAs, all kinds of people to help fix that hack. Some of the other ones that we hear about are actually geopolitical warfare, what I call geopolitical warfare. And it's countries that have hackers to attack other countries. So with that, today, you don't need bullets, you don't need tanks at all to take down a government or a country or a city. I think the city of Atlanta suffered a major hack in 2020 or the beginning of this year. I forget in which one. It was a major hack that took them down for quite a bit. That was with the ransomware. And then another way is with corporations that are competing against each other. So they spend money to find ways to hack into other corporate, their competitors' systems different kinds of ways, similar to what Renee had mentioned before, is that if, because we have so much information out there, we put our names, our titles, the companies that we work for, the websites. So it's very easy for a competitor to be able to come up with and mimic a competitor's officers to be able to send out bogus information. So understand that this is a career for someone. Okay, they can make really lucrative money doing this. So this is just like having a job as a CPA or an attorney or even a clerk. So yes, I did a show again on this where there was a whole level hierarchy of payments depending on what the hack was. Okay, and what the attack was. So a credit card was low level if you attacked a municipality or a water district. That, of course, would pay a lot more money.
Well, that's for sure. I know. So can you give us the 10 tips here? Because I know everybody's interested based on all the things that you've said. We know we're getting hacked in all kinds of different focuses, but let's get started on giving us those tips.
Okay, here you go. Okay, so I had definitions. If you want to know definitions, then you can ask me in the chat. But here are my 10 tips. Okay, so most of these require extra time to implement because we're talking about a lifestyle change. Okay, so think lifestyle change. So get your coffee, your wine, your tequila, or whatever you need to be able to go through these and take the time to be able to do some of these. Okay, the very first thing is backup. Okay, I know we'll say, oh, we'll do it later, but backup.
We can't see your screen to see.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, we can still see the first page. Can you show the other presentations there?
I'm so sorry. Let me see.
Yeah, put it in a presentation mode, then you can get to the different slides.
Oh, I thought that's where I was.
No.
I'm just talking. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. Let me okay. All right, so let me try this again. Okay, how about now?
We can see the 10 things you can do. So let's get started with it because our system, yeah, you know, we end at 5:15. So we want to have enough time for people to get updated on this, but to ask questions too.
Okay. Okay, so again, backup. Use an external hard drive, even the cloud. The cloud is safe enough to use now, but what I do for critical stuff, I will put on an external hard drive. And even other critical stuff, I will put on a thumb drive or a little flash drive so that I can have that separate, put in a safe deposit box if it's really important, and have easy access if you need to carry it around someplace and use it someplace else or give it to your CPA or whoever. Okay, so don't use default passwords. Okay, and hopefully by now everybody's got that down. Do not use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or the word password. Okay, and then this is going to take a lot of time and paying attention to. Do not use the same passwords repeatedly on all of anytime you need a password. Break them up. You should use different ones because what can happen is that once a hacker breaks and is able to access your a site or your email with your user ID and password, they're just going to go and try it on different, like at the banks and different places. So you want to be able to break that up. Okay. And as I mentioned here, especially your financial websites, and then change them often. That's why the password manager, which I'm saying here, is great for that because it can help you keep track of the passwords and change them when you change them. And then keep a backup copy of your password manager. You can email it to yourself and then put it on a thumb drive or on another computer, tablet, someplace else, so that if something ever happens, you'll have your passwords to be able to open up all your stuff again. Okay, two-step verification. Most folks are now understanding what that is that they'll ask you for a cell phone number or an email that they will send you a code to, so that you will input that code to be able to access that website or that data. And then get rid of all and unsupported software. You Windows 7 people, you no longer have security updates. So let's get to 2021. Okay, update your operating systems and then delete any software that you'll never use that has a password on it. Okay, just in case you do get a hack, if somebody trolls around and tries to open up some old files that might still be important to you. And then also encrypt your most confidential documents. Okay, there is a way where you can password, especially with Microsoft Office, if you're doing Excel, Word, even PowerPoint, where you can put a code on, a password on that file to open it. But just be sure that you keep it someplace where you can access it, so you can tell whoever it is that you're sending the document to, or for yourself, so you can open the document later on. Okay, did this change? Okay, do you see install a virtual private network? Oh, nope.
No, it's still on the backup.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead and select number 8.
Okay.
Next, your next slide.
Okay, yeah, that's what I did. Okay, sorry, I have to stop sharing again.
There we go.
Okay. Okay, I see what I have to do this time. I have to figure it out. Okay. Install a virtual private network. Okay, so a virtual private network is an application that you can get and put on all your devices. Well, you would get one, but you would be able to put it on all your devices. And what it is like a special portal and a network to get to all your devices, to all the information on your computer. Renee can probably now give you a really good definition of that. And what that is, it has like a firewall, so that unless it's someone has that particular password, they cannot access your computer data or your and you can get it from mobile now and your tablet. So I highly recommend that. And then you can give access to other people that you want to be able to access your computer. Okay. Then also this is a thing for me, and people, they hem and haw, but do not send confidential files through your regular email unless you encrypt it. Okay, that would be your driver's licenses, your tax returns, or anything with a social security number. Don't send it through regular email, because it ends up being in the email and cyberspace forever. Okay, and someone untoward can access that email later on, or there's no reason for somebody even that to be able to have that. So there are free services that you can access, that you can upload securely and send these documents, and that will send a link to whoever you want the document to be sent to, and they click on that link and they can securely download that document. So if you want more information on that, just let me know. Okay, and then also shore up the privacy and data access on your browsers, your websites, and your social media. Okay, especially Google and Facebook. So where it has those pages full of privacy settings, get your wine, your tequila, whatever, sit down, go through those and set those, because the defaults aren't always in your best interest. Okay, and then you need to do it on each one of your devices, also, not just one. Okay, and the preferences are also a great place to start on the browsers, and that will help. I do have the link for a Washington Post article that actually takes you through step by step of how to set some of those settings for like Google, and especially Google. You wanted to Google. Okay. Okay. Did this change? No. Okay. So let me change, go play.
Yeah, you're fine now. You're on the next one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's being finicky because we have company. Okay. So, okay. And then use a search engine like DuckDuckGo for any and all searches because it does not track your searches or pull out your data and aggregate it and sell it to advertisers or whoever. So you have to retrain yourself to not automatically use Google. So we say Google it, that's actually a copyright infringement. You should say search. Okay. And you're making them gazillionaires and you're not even getting paid for it. So that's another reason to use, and DuckDuckGo is really, really great for that. Okay. And then finally, every now and then, take a deeper dive on the news and technology outside of your normal sources. Okay, and how many of you get your news only from Facebook or Twitter or IG or Yahoo? Okay, yeah, so go look elsewhere so that you get a variety of information. And it's also for verification against misinformation. So for me, in terms of technology, the Business Insider is a good one. CNET is really, really good. So that CNET and ZDNet would be good places to find reviews on like virtual private networks and some other of the applications that will help you. And also news about technology that is readable for you as an end user. And then one that I really like is the Electronic Frontier Foundation. Their mission is to protect our digital rights and our digital privacy. So I like to go there just to see, because a lot of times you find out stuff that is not on the radar of the media. And it's something that you should be aware of. So if you need to go and do a deeper dive on how you're using a particular website or company, then you can find out what the status is. You may not be able to do much about it, but at least you're aware, so you can then protect and ask questions. Okay, and oh, I went too fast. Take back your power over your digital life. Hopefully these tools will help you do that. And thank you. Here's my information. I can also put it in the chat if you like.
Yeah, we can't see that if it's a screen that shows
I
your.
forget. I have to escape out.
There we go. Okay.
Again. Okay. Okay. Thank you much. I'll stop sharing now.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions. So one of the things that is so important that she has pointed out that I used all of those things. We started using a password manager, and it will save it for you. Like I said, don't write it on something that somebody can see it. If you're traveling, using that VPN really makes a difference because it does protect who you are when you're going into different sites. You won't get slammed as much as far as any marketing is concerned because they can't find you.
Can I say one quick thing about that?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, that's really a good point. Okay, do not use free Wi-Fi. If you see a Wi-Fi network that does not have a lock on it, don't use it. Especially in the hotels, they will tell you that they're secure and they don't have a lock on there, but chances are they really, really are not. So when you have your own virtual private network, when you're on your laptop, you log into your virtual private network and not their Wi-Fi network. And then also even your phone, your devices, you'll be able to tether those to that and have your devices secure as well. So it's a really, really good investment.
Yeah, it definitely is because, and typically when you do sign into those sites, they'll say this is not secure. That'll pop up usually on your cell phone or on your desktop, your laptop, and will let you know this is not secure. So having that VPN really, really makes a big difference. And your other point, which is this has happened a couple of times where we work with our clients as financial planners, financial advisors, and we also will talk to their accountants because we do provide some tax recommendations. We don't do taxes, but if somebody's looking to change their status, or they're buying or selling, and we'll give some property or whatever, and they want to know what their tax implications are. So I had one accountant that emailed me the client's tax return and just attached it to the email. I called him. I said, "What the heck? Don't you ever do that?" And he said, "Oh, is that a problem?" I told my client, "You need to find another accountant," because they don't understand that. So we use ShareFile, which is a means of not only sending secured links for people to download or to upload content into, but it's also a secure online version where we can save very important documents. You can keep those virtually. And if I'm going someplace, going to my doctor's office or whatever, and I need to see some information to share with them, I can go into my phone. It's secure. And I have all of that stuff that's saved: pictures, personal contact, my driver's license, my passport, everything is in here, and it's in a secure fashion because you got to log in to see it. So we got to get to that place, in that space, because for whatever reason, I don't know why, in 2022, we have got so many people have gotten slammed and accessed on your phone, calling you on your phone, emailing you, text messages. Raise your hand. How many of you have gotten crazy text messages? I was like, who is this? Mm-hmm. So, and there is a way, right, Zenobia, which you can indicate on your phone to block something. You want to tell people how to block it, because you told me how to do that on my phone one time. I was like, okay.
Oh,
I take notes all the time and implement that.
Yes, and it's annoying, but you have to do it. So if you on your phone, if you get a phone call from somebody and you want to block them, I know on an iPhone, you can click on that the picture up above, right at the top of the phone. If it's a phone call, then don't click on the number, or else it'll dial the number. Then they'll really have you. But click on the little thing that says I in the circle for information. Click there, and then click on info, and then scroll down. It'll say block caller. Okay, so you can block the caller then. If it's a text, it's almost the same thing. If you get a text from somebody like an unknown, then you can click on the picture. Okay, and then it'll say info. And if you click on info, it'll do the same thing. And then you scroll down and block caller. So yeah, you have to do it every time, because what they do, it's like a robo dialing, mm-hmm. and they have a bunch of different numbers. I even noticed that one time I got 2 calls in a row, and the phone numbers were just, the digits were, the last number was right next to each other. Mm-hmm. So so you do have to keep doing that, but that, at least you won't get it from that caller.
Yeah. You got to get very much formalized into protecting ourselves, as well as our families. So make sure that you do take those in. And we will, as I said, all of our sessions are recorded. So we'll be sending out the recording to you, and you will be able to have access to Zenobia for any of the things that we talked about today going forward. And hopefully we will see you all next year in our January. We know that we are all super busy, so we've been hosting these webinars every month, except in December, because everybody's busy in this holiday time. But in January, we are going to be, we'll have an accountant that will talk about the updated tax law changes, so everybody can be informed about that. And then we will have it hosted also there. And any of you are interested, you can actually come to view our Smart Women Savvy Money Facebook page. And here is where we will be we are going to start promoting and hosting, there we see Zenobia, women professionals. So whether you have a business or you are a professional, you're a professor, you are a workout person, do hairs, psychologist, we're going to promote women on the site, and we're going to start that in 2022. So we will be sending out notifications to everyone that is a member of the Smart Women Savvy Money group. You can come into our page and we will admit you. And we post a lot of content that is relevant to your life and your lifestyle. So we will do that and get that ready. So got a couple of questions. One is, what is the Washington Post link for the article and preferences? So can you put that into the chat box, Zenobia?
Yeah, let me see if I can grab that real quick.
Okay.
I'll hop off a second.
All right, we'll do that. And the date in January, we're going to start recording. We typically have our webinars are the second Thursday. Well, they used to be the second Thursday, the last Thursday of the month. And so we will be posting those, and they'll be on our website so that you will be able to see the dates and the times that they will be offered. But again, anyone that signs up for it, whether they can be there or not, we will send out the recording so you'll be able to hear what occurred during that time. All right. Okay. So Zenobia is pulling that information in. We'll send it out. And any other information, questions, or thoughts that you have, if you want to explore that, you will have Zenobia's contact information so that you can reach out to her, and she will make sure that she can take care of you.
There's another question.
Just put a question in the I just put a question in the box. I know you mentioned not using free Wi-Fi, which is always so tempting. But I know you can also purchase MiFis. Is there any risk with those?
Zenobia, did you hear that? You're muted. You're muted. There you go.
For that link. Okay, you know, I have to say, I'm not familiar with the MiFi, is it?
Yeah, a MiFi is a mobile internet.
Oh, hotspot.
Yeah, is
well,
that a
well,
hotspot?
Yeah, you buy it.
Personal
You
phone.
it has its own phone number, and you pay it through your carrier.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay, so it's a mobile hotspot. I would say that I would use that before I would use hotel Wi-Fi or any free Wi-Fi, because it is attached to that particular phone number and accesses through the cellular,
Right.
as opposed to accessing or using the hotel Wi-Fi or even Starbucks or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah, actually, that brings up a point, because now I remember, it's been a while since I've been at a hotel, but I did use the hotspot on my personal hotspot on my phone, and I tethered my laptop to my phone so I wouldn't have to use the hotel Wi-Fi. Okay, so that's something that you can do. Also, a lot of the phones, operating systems now come with some kind of a hotspot. I know the iPhones do, and I think that probably a lot of the Androids do as well.
My Android does. It has its own hotspot that you can utilize for your phone, your computer.
Now you have to be aware that you're going to be using your data plan. So if you don't have an unlimited data plan, be very, very careful because you don't want to all of a sudden have a huge bill the next month. So just be aware and check out your plan. And if it's something that you do frequently, up your plan, pay the extra money, It'll be, $5-10 a month more to be able to have unlimited, so that you can do your hotspotting.
How do
Okay,
you access?
I
I'm
have to
so,
put that Washington Post link on the Facebook page because it's taking me a little bit to put my
I don't do
hands on it,
Facebook.
but I can do that.
Well, if you can send me the link, and when we send out the recording, we'll have that.
Oh,
in there.
excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, we'll put it in there.
How do you access DuckDuckGo? Is it an app?
You can just go to the browser and then type in DuckDuckGo, whatever browser you're using.
Okay.
Okay, and then type in, it's probably duckduckgo.com, and then set that as your default
Okay.
search. Okay,
Got
I
it.
think it'll ask, or yeah, you can set that as your default search on your mobile as well as on your laptop.
That's another one I didn't know about. I'll be adding that to my list too. I'll be a DuckDuckGo girl.
I don't
Quack,
know
quack.
what the name of the experience works.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for your time. And as usual, we have this amazing topic. So we will definitely have our girl back on next year because we're going to hopefully, it'll go down. We won't get slammed as much. So,
Well, it may just be different.
yes. Yeah,
So
exactly.
we'll try and keep on top of that too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, everyone. Take care. Happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays. Stay safe,
Thank you.
secure, and look forward to
Thank you.
2022.
That's
Thank
right.
you. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.